All right, everybody. Welcome into this 30-minute holiday self-care slow flow practice. I'm so honored to share this time with you. Thank you for showing up for yourself, and thank you for showing up for the community. Your practice makes a difference and has a ripple effect. I would suggest for this practice today having one block. If you don't have a block, that's totally fine. You don't necessarily need it. You can always substitute some books instead. We're going to come to a kneeling position to begin. So, coming to the knees, separate the heels. And if you're using something to sit on, place that between your heels and settle your sitting bones back. Find a stance for you that is sustainable. We're not going to be here for a tremendously long period of time, but for the time that we have, we want to be attentive and also at ease. You can turn your palms face down onto the tops of your thighs. I always make this suggestion because energetically, it's a way of grounding ourselves. If what you're feeling today is that you need to bring in a little bit more energy, you can always cup the hands and rest them held in each other, palms facing up instead. So from either place, notice if you're leaning forward. And this is always a really fascinating inquiry because how much of our lives are we spending leaning forward into the next moment, into the next thing, into the next word? And so, can you energetically feel yourself taking a step back inside? And then sit up tall, sit upright. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you rest your gaze down and out a couple of feet. And together from this place, take a deep breath in through the nose and open the mouth, exhale, release the breath. And two more times like that. Full inhale through the nose, out the mouth. And one last time, inhale through the nose and open the mouth. And if it's available for you today, starting to breathe in and out through the nose, drawing the breath along the back of the throat, slipping in to the sound of ujjayi. And to set the foundation energetically and with the breath, to sit with whatever might be here for you today. For many of us, this time of year or just in general in our lives, slowing down feels deeply counterintuitive. And in many of our cultures, it's countercultural. It goes against the narrative. So it would be only natural that for some of us, there might even be a little bit of resistance to slowing down. And can you just allow that resistance to be there, or whatever it is you're presencing right now? Maybe you're a little bit tired. Maybe you're just really ready to move. Whatever the case may be, this permission to not need to change it, fix it, or have it be any different, just to allow your inner life, your physical body, your physiology, your heart, and your mind to be exactly as they are today. And from that place of permission, a softening that starts to take place. And as you stay with your breath, we will start to move just a little bit. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Roll your chin to your chest. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder and then float your head above your cervical vertebrae. So never throwing your head too far back. And just some nice, generous neck circles here. Little rotations, circulating first to the right a couple of times. And then notice if your face began to constrict or if you started to withhold the breath. And can you begin to move the breath again deeply and fully? And as many times as you need to today, you can even use that sigh out the mouth, which is a way that we release tension and stress, but also helps to shift us into the parasympathetic side of the nervous system. And then circulate the opposite direction. So just circulating the head the opposite way. And dropping the left ear to the left shoulder, the chin to the chest, and the right ear to the right shoulder, making big circles and softening and touching into these long straps of muscle along the sides of the neck that hold so much tension from holding the thinking mind up. And then coming back through the center, sit up tall, pause there for a moment, get a little still, take an inhale. And as you exhale, shift forward into tabletop pose. If you had a block there, you might remove it now toward the top of your mat. Walk your knees back behind your hips and start to make big circles with the hips. And notice if you've already started to rush. So, in a slow flow practice, we are purposefully shifting pace. And as the author Catherine May writes, I am not learning as much as I am unlearning. And so there are habits and conditions that slip into the way that we even move through our practice, not just the way we move through our lives. And you start to slip into that dimension of awareness and you notice, oh, I fell a little bit unconscious. Start to circulate your hips in the opposite direction. Started to become a little bit unconscious and began to hurry and rush. And so, very purposefully slowing things down, going at a different pace that actually allows you to feel. So, part of what comes up when we're hurrying and rushing is that we don't have to feel. We don't have to feel what's happening in our minds, our hearts, or our bodies. And so, it can be a little tricky or even confronting to slow down. Come back through the center, pause in tabletop pose. Walk your hands back in. So your wrists are underneath your shoulder, your knees are underneath your hips. And then rise to standing on your knees. Rotate your body to the left. And then place your hands back down in front of you. So you're in tabletop pose, but now your knees are on your mat and your hands are on the floor in front of you. Slip your right leg over to the right. So extend it all the way to the right side, flexing, pointing your toes forward, sealing the sole of the right foot down onto the floor. Walk your fingertips in. Rise back to standing on the left knee this time. Spread the arms out. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, lean to the left. Place the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Reach the right arm toward the sky. Lean back. Take an inhale. And then exhale, start to thread the right arm underneath the left as if you could just round the right shoulder blade forward. And then inhale the right arm back up toward the sky. Two more times like that. Exhale, thread the right arm as if it wanted to reach underneath the left. Inhale, reach the arm up. And then one last time. Exhale, thread the right arm under the left. Inhale the right arm to the sky. And as you exhale, extend the top right arm up and over the crown of the head. Big, long reach from right fingertips to the blade of the right foot, which is still sealing and pressing down into the floor. And then grounding through the left hand, you might contract the abdominals in to help support you as you rise back up. Spread the arms out wide. So now you're standing up on that left knee. And exhale, right hand to right shin, left arm up and over the head. So you get a sweet side stretch into the opposite side. Just a moment here. How's your breath? Back through center on an inhale, spread the arms out, and then exhale your right elbow underneath your left, Garudasana with the arms. Remembering that if that doesn't work for your body, then you can press the forearms together in front of you instead. Either way, lift the elbows up, take an inhale, lean a little bit back, and then exhale, curl your elbows towards your left knee, round forward and down. And then two more times like that. Inhale, lift the elbows up, lift the torso up, lean back, little back bend there as the fingers go over the face. Exhale, curl in on yourself, still steadying yourself with that strong right leg. Last time, inhale, lean back, draw the elbows back. And then exhale, curl down. Stay down low. Release the hands forward. Tuck the left toes under and then press your hips back. So a stretch through the left toes and the sole and arch of the left foot, and a big stretch through that inner right thigh. On an inhale, rise back up, walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, slip the right knee underneath the right hip, and then extend the left leg out to the left side, sealing the sole of the left foot down. Walk the hands in, rise to standing on the right knee this time, spread the arms out, tilt to the right, right hand under right shoulder, left arm up toward the sky, joints stacking, spread wide. We'll thread this arm, lean back, open up, inhale to receive the breath. And then exhale, thread the left arm as if to reach underneath the right. We're going to flow that 2 more times, unhurried, unrushed. Inhale, left arm to the sky, lean back, open wide. Exhale as you thread left arm under the right. Inhale, left arm reaches up, lean back and spread. Exhale as you reach under and thread. Inhale, extend the left arm up toward the sky, and then exhale the top arm up and over the crown of the head. Big, full, deep side body stretch. And you might even feel a little more into the psoas in this variation of modified side plank there as you continue to firm the left thigh back. Grounding down, inhale, rise back up to standing on the right knee, and then left hand toward the left shin, right arm up and over the head into gate pose. And just targeting the opposite side and finding that opportunity in each transition to soften a little bit. On an inhale, come back through the center, spread the arms out, left elbow under the right this time, or forearms press. Lift the elbows up, lean back, inhale. Exhale, curl down, elbows toward right knee. Inhale, elbows to the sky, fingertips up and over the face. 2 more times. Exhale, curl on the breath, unhurried, unrushed. Inhale, as you lift up, elbows draw back, fingertips back. Exhale, curl down. This time, stay down low. Release the hands out in front of you. Tuck the right toes under and then press the hips back. Arch of the right foot stretches, inseam of the left thigh. Last little piece here before we start to move. Walk the hands back in underneath the shoulders. Draw the left knee underneath the left hip. Rotate forward to the top of your mat so you're back in the traditional space on your mat. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And in that first downward facing dog, you might bicycle the knees as you spread the fingers. And of the utmost importance, noticing that the breath has that samma vritti quality, so even and balanced. The inhale mirrors the exhale. Take an inhale, press the hips up and back. As you exhale, gaze forward, step your feet up towards your hands. I'm going to keep my feet sitting bone distance today. If you prefer your feet side by side, you can. Hands to shins on an inhale, elongate. Find your version of a flat back along spine. And then exhale, fold, bend the knees, hang the arms, hang the head. On an inhale, slow roll to stand. Take the in-breath all the way till you reach the top. At the top on the exhale, roll the shoulders back. Both arms to the sky. Inhale as you reach up overhead. Hands draw down toward the heart as you exhale. And you remember that what you need is steady connection, not steady correction. Let's slow flow here on the breath. Inhale, circle the arms up. And then bring the arms in front of you. Start to bend the elbows, palms face you. And as you exhale, cascade the body forward, bending the knees, folding forward like a rag doll. Hang the head, hang the arms. Then slow roll to stand, navel hugging to the spine. The inhale rolls you up. The head is the last thing to come up. Exhale, shoulders roll down and back at the very top. Both arms up, inhale, reach up. Hands to the heart, Anjali, as you exhale for steady connection. Two more like this. Both arms rise, inhale. And then bend the elbows, bend the knees, ragdoll cascade, fold your body forward, hang the arms, hang the head at the base. Roll to stand on the inhale, letting the head hang, the arms hang the whole time, even as your navel contracts in and back. Shoulders roll down, gaze lifts toward the horizon. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Last time here. Hands to the heart as you exhale, pressing the breath out and emptying, getting nice and clear. Both arms rise. Inhale, last time. Soft bend in the elbows, soft bend in the knees. Fold your way down. Hang the arms, hang the head. Pause at the base. Hands to shins this time. Inhale, long spine, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, drop the hips, sit back into your version of chair pose. This might be a really useful chair. Weight into the heels as the pubic bone rises, descending into the thighs, and you're going to shift your weight into your right leg. Still breathing here, slowly lunge your left toes to the back of your mat. Lean your chest forward, parallel to your front right thigh, reaching your arms straight ahead. Inhale, rise up to crescent pose. You lift the torso on the in-breath. As you exhale, cactus the elbows, long out breath to roll the shoulders back, peel the chest open. On an inhale, start to round forward, bringing your forearms toward each other, letting your upper back round as if you could just kind of curl in on yourself. And then exhale back to an upright torso, cactusing the elbows, pulling the tips of the shoulder blades in, expanding the heart, the chest. Crescent pose on an inhale, both arms rise up. As you exhale, lean out halfway, left arm forward, right arm straight behind you, tractioning the spine, getting long as you reach the left arm ahead and the right arm straight back. On an inhale, cartwheel open into warrior two, right arm forward, left arm behind, spin the back foot flat, and maybe you heel toe the front right heel to intersect the back arch. Pause there as you sit a little bit deep, press the breath out and empty. Then on an inhale, straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in, point the left toes toward the back of the space, bend the left knee, and bring your right hand to your heart. So it's kind of like a very high skandasana, nothing too extreme. Then all the way to the back of the top of the mat, pivot the right toes forward, left hand comes to your heart, right arm reaches up and overhead, a reverse warrior. Take an inhale, lean back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down onto the mat. Spin onto the back left toes. Drop the left knee down behind the left hip. Then rise up on an inhale to a low lunge. Take an inhale here. Fingertips down, frame the front right foot. As you exhale, rock the hips back. Flex the right toes toward the face. So just passing through Ardha Hanumanasana half splits. Rebend the right knee. Circle the arms to the sky. Inhale to your low lunge. Exhale, fingertips down to the mat. Left toes tuck under, left knee lifts. On the inhale. Step forward to the top of the mat as you exhale. Here we go. Second side, hands to shins. Flat back, inhale, lengthen out. Slow fold, exhale, melt in, press the breath out. Bend the knees, drop the hips, sit back, inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Shift the weight into the left foot. As you exhale, step the right toes to the back of the mat this time. Lean your chest or torso forward, reaching your arms straight ahead. Rise up, inhale, crescent pose. Exhale, cactus the elbows as you peel the heart open slow. Round forward on an inhale, doming the back, forearms together, remembering everything that opens must also close. Then exhale back to that cactus variation. Full crescent inhale, arms rise. Exhale, lean the torso forward, but reach the left arm back behind you by your left side. On an inhale, cartwheel open into warrior two, back foot pivots flat, left arm sweeps forward, torso upright as you sit a little bit deep and spread. Then that high version of Skandasana, left leg straightens, left toes turn in. Right toes turn slightly out, bend the right knee, bring the right hand to the heart this time as you lean toward the right. Then all the way back to the top of the mat, reverse warrior as you circle the left arm up and overhead, lean back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down onto the earth, drop the right knee down behind the right hip. Low lunge, inhale as you circle to the sky. Fingertips down as you exhale, rock the hips back, flex the toes towards you, just a moment and half split. So keeping it nice and fluid today, but not rushing through it. Rebend the left knee, circle the arms up, inhale to your low lunge. Exhale, place the fingertips down. Inhale, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Step forward, top of the mat as you exhale. We're gonna flow through it one more time, right and left. Hands to shins, inhale, flat back. Forward fold, exhale as you melt. Chair pose, inhale, weight back, knees bend, heart lifts. Exhale, step the left toes back, chest forward, arms ahead. Inhale, rise up, crescent pose. Exhale, cactus the elbows slow. Inhale, round forward, elbows together, palms touch. Exhale, back to that upright torso as the elbows cactus again. Arms straighten, inhale, crescent pose. Chest forward as you exhale, left arm ahead, right arm reaches back. Cartwheel open into warrior two on an inhale. High Skandasana to the back of your mat as you exhale. Reverse your warrior, top of the mat. Inhale, right arm overhead, right toes ahead. Exhale, arms down. Drop the left knee behind the left hip. Low lunge, inhale, one breath, one movement. Where can you slow down? Exhale, fingertips to the earth, rock the hips back, draw the right toes toward the face. Plant the right foot, rebend the right knee, low lunge, inhale, heart elevates. Fingertips down as you exhale. Left toes tuck, left knee lifts, inhale. Step forward as you exhale. Hands to shins, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Fold, exhale, bow in. Here we go, last time. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Inhale to chair. Shift the weight into the left leg. Lunge the right toes back as you exhale, chest forward, arms ahead. Rise upright, crescent pose, inhale. Elbows cactus, exhale. Round forward, curl in on yourself, inhale. Recactus the elbows as you exhale. Straighten the arms, inhale. Lean the torso forward, right arm ahead, left arm back, exhale. Cartwheel open into warrior two, inhale. High Skandasana to the back of the mat as you exhale. Reverse warrior at the top of the mat, inhale. Hands cartwheel down to the earth as you exhale. Drop the right knee behind the right hip. Low lunge inhale as both arms sweep overhead. Hands to the earth as you exhale. Rock the hips back, left leg toward your version of straight. Rebend the left knee, reach the arms up. One breath, low lunge today. Hands down as you exhale, right toes tuck. Lift the right knee, inhale. Step forward, fold, exhale. Glance out, lead with your heart. Pull the breath to the base of the lungs. Exhale, fold and empty. Circle and rise. Inhale, arms to the sky. Hands to the heart as you exhale. Shift the weight into the left foot this time. And then find your version of tree pose as you maybe draw the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh or the inner left calf. There's always a place for you. If you need to come to a wall today, knowing you can use a wall to support you. And of course, tree pose really symbolic of that energy of apana vayu, the downward flow of energy. And also having roots, knowing what it is to be steady, even as everything around us continues to shift and change. Keep what you have. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower the right foot down, drop both arms by your sides, take a stand, stand down into your 2 feet, maybe close the eyes, notice the residue and the resonance of what it's like to show up. Weight shifts into the right foot, sole of the left foot comes into the inner right thigh or the calf. Remember, the toes could even stay on the floor. And as BKS Iyengar so beautifully wrote, the rhythm of the body, the melody of the mind, and the harmony of the soul create the symphony of life. And so maybe as you take your stand in tree, you just feel that symphony of life flowing through you and around you. And this is what it is to be alive, to really be in the present moment, not leaning into the thing that comes next. Lower the left foot down to meet the right. Drop both arms by the sides. Pause there. Again, just notice the urge to get to the next thing. And remind yourself that you know how to do this. You know how to be right here. Both arms sweep up. Inhale, full breath. Last time, exhale, fold all the way out and down. Chest out halfway for the final time. Inhale. Plant the hands, step the feet back to the top of a push-up. And then today, drop the knees down behind the hips. You're gonna go knees, chest down to the floor as you bend the elbows, then the chin, and then reach the legs back so that the navel and the tops of the thighs descend down onto the earth. First time today, baby cobra on an inhale, heart peels up. Exhale, heart, chest, and chin lower slow. Twice more, baby cobra. Inhale, elbows in, gaze upon the cheeks. Exhale as you lower slow. One final time, inhale, your version of cobra. Exhale, lower slow, press back into child's pose, big toes together, knees wide, forehead to the earth. Take a breath. On an inhale, rise up to tabletop pose, crawl the knees forward, cross the ankles behind you or sweep the feet to the side. Come to the sitting bones, bring the soles of the feet together. Scoot the heels in toward the body. Hook the big toes, hug the elbows in, lift the chest up. Inhale. Exhale as you draw the heart forward. This is your forward fold for now. Coming back inside. And coming into the quality that in Sanskrit is called sunyata. It's the word for emptiness. And that's not a nihilistic concept, that emptiness is actually a form of opportunity and luminosity. It's like the sky, space for experience to arise and pass again, pass away again. Lift your torso up. Keep your right leg as it is, and then send the left leg forward. So you're in that seated version of tree we call Janu Shirsasana. Right foot to the inseam of the left leg. Lift the arms up, inhale. And then to your own amount, fold as you exhale. And so imagine that your mind were like the sky, like birds or clouds or weather systems. Thoughts arise, emotions and feelings, sounds, memories. And it all has the opportunity to pass by without you latching on and getting caught in a narrative or a story. Roll your way up on an inhale, take your right ankle, stack it above your left knee, and then slide your left calf underneath your right calf, stacking your calves. And if this is not the pose for you, cross your legs instead. There's always a variation for you that's available. So either cross legs or double-seated pigeon, inhale the arms up. And then exhale, maybe you bow your way forward and out, maybe. You could also just sit upright. And so as an act of self-care this holiday season, slowing down actually has a quality of emptiness to it. We're emptying out of the things that we think are expected of us. The busyness, the hurrying. And so just emptying out those expectations that either other people have placed on you or you have placed on yourself. Roll your way back up. Lean back, extend both legs out straight, and then sole of the left foot to the inseam of the right inner thigh. Flex the right toes toward the face, take an inhale, lift yourself up, and then exhale and fold your way out and down, just your own amount. So again, the hands could be on the mat. You don't have to reach for the toes. You're not here to make anything happen. And how beautiful if you could apply that to the end of this year. It is not your job to make anything happen. Inhale, roll your way back up. Stack your left ankle above your right knee, your right calf under your left, or just cross the legs the opposite way. You get the same direction of the femur bone in the hip. Maybe the arms lift up on an inhale. Maybe you fold, or maybe you sit upright. Last little piece here. Stay. Stay with yourself, your practice, your experience. And that you can watch the resistance, the agitation, every piece of it, just watching and witnessing. And that gives you a little more space again to take that energetic step back, to disconnect from an unhelpful way of being or habit, and to literally lay new pathways of self-care. Roll your way up on an inhale. Release the legs, extend the legs forward, and recline all the way onto the back. Drop the arms down by the sides. Let the palms face up toward the sky. We'll land right into a final rest from here. Take an inhale through the nose, the way that we began. And open the mouth, exhale. And surrendering the yogic sound of the breath. Allowing the body to be breathed the way that it knows how. And for a moment, you drop away from the practice you just moved through, and you drop away from anything that might be ahead of you today. And you lay yourself to rest so you can draw in, integrate the fruits of your practice. And in that generous act of slowing down, stay right here. Keep the eyes closed. Place one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly, hands on the body. And the poet Marnie Sklarov writes, "You are allowed to go slow. You are allowed to be quiet, make space, and feel. You are allowed to have nothing to say and wait until you do. You are allowed to wait. You can just breathe sometimes and watch and see. You can be open to whatever comes next. You can not know, and you can want. You can be okay with your wanting. You can sit in your agitation, breathe into your irritability, and cry in your grief. You can wait for the truth. You can watch how you make up stories and love yourself and wait until the true one reveals itself. You can do all kinds of things slowly. And so slowly from this place, spread the fingers, the toes, draw the knees into the chest. Curl onto one side and then press down into your hands, rising to a final cross-legged seat as you draw the palms together at the space of your heart, bowing your chin. On an inhale, placing the thumbs to the forehead for clarity of thought. The fingertips to the lips for thoughtfulness of speech. And the hands to the heart for consistency of action, allowing your practice to guide you through everything you're thinking, saying, and doing slowly. A final inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Namaste. Thank you so much for your practice. It's always such an honor to flow with you. And I'm so glad you took this time to slow down this season and to act on generous self-care. If you like this practice, I have a fully fleshed out version of it that just came out on Inner Dimension, and you can join me over there to experience that full class. If you have some time today, if you have some questions, I'm going to stick around for a few minutes, so feel free to pop your questions into the chat, and I'll come a little closer and see if there are any questions here today. Otherwise, if you're headed out, It's so great to practice with you, and I'm so glad that you took the time to do this. But I'll stick around and see if you guys have any questions today. Oh, and so good to see you. Thanks for practicing today, Whitney. Hi, Christy and Lynn. And so if you have any questions, feel free to pop those into the chat. And it's okay if you have questions about your practice or anything else that's coming up for you. Always here to support you in your practice and your living practice, both on and off the mat. And so we'll give it a second and see if anybody has any questions. And maybe today is not a day for questions, and that's a beautiful act of slowing down, of not needing to know and not needing to look for answers outside of yourself, which I think is a really important part of our practice too. And that what we're always hoping to point you back to, that ultimately every answer you seek, you really are the one that knows the answer. All right, guys, looks like we don't have any questions today, which is a beautiful thing. It is the greatest honor of my life to have this time in this space with you. Thank you for living your practice. Go out there, be the yoga. You don't have to tell anyone that you do yoga. You don't have to proclaim from the rooftops what it is you do. It's just who you are, and it's just how you are. And as my teacher, Eckstrom, always used to say, people should know that you practice yoga not because of the clothes that you wear or the mat on your back, but because of how they feel in your presence. And isn't this the time of year for that? So go be the presence of yoga out in the world, and we will see you next time.